Hi friends. I want to talk to you about this week's Torah portion, and I realize it's been a while since I've talked to the kids and families with kids of TBI, but I miss talking Torah in person in Talmud Torah and realized it's about time we start doing that. And this week's Torah portion is Vaera, actually, the second Torah portion in the book of Exodus. And the Israelites are still slaves in Egypt. Moshe already saw the burning bush in last week's Torah portion, and Hashem already told Moshe to go to Pharaoh and command Pharaoh to let the people go. And in this week's Torah portion, Moshe is negotiating with Pharaoh over and over again, and there are lots of plagues. And at the very beginning of the Torah portion, Hashem says, I will harden Pharaoh's heart so that he will not let the people go. And after each of the first 5 plagues, it says that Pharaoh hardened his own heart, meaning, it might mean that Pharaoh decided, I'm not going to be moved. I'm not going to feel any compassion for these people, or I'm going to stay really stubborn and not let them go. And so you might ask, well, is that fair? If Hashem hardened Pharaoh's heart, how could Pharaoh be punished then for not letting the Israelites go? But there's a concept in Judaism, it's talked about in our Mishnah, mitzvah goreret mitzvah, Vaera goreret Vaera. I know some of you have sung this with Mina in Talmud Torah music. A mitzvah leads to another mitzvah. When we do a good thing, it leads us to do more and more good things. An Vaera leads to another Vaera. Vaera means a transgression, a bad thing, something that hurts somebody else. When we do something that hurts somebody else, that hurt can also lead to more and more hurt. It can cause a ripple of hurt of that person then going and hurting somebody else, or of that person hurting us in return, and then we still feel even more grumpy, and so we get even more angry and more hurtful. I don't know if you can think of a time that you have ever felt that way or experienced that, either of doing a good thing that has caused ripples of goodness in your life, or of experiencing a bad thing, a grumpy thing that causes ripples of badness. In my family, my mom used to call that passing the grump, when we would pass the grump around the house. So there's a way of understanding that Pharaoh got so much into the habit of hardening his heart, of not thinking kindly about other people, of choosing to be cruel, of choosing to be stubborn, of choosing to keep the Israelites enslaved, that when it says Hashem says, I hardened Pharaoh's heart, it means that he was no longer even able to make another choice. He was stuck in this pattern that he had gotten into, in this habit he had gotten into of having a closed off heart. So, the good news for all of us is that we are not Pharaoh. We are also not angels. We are not always in habits of doing the perfect right thing, and we are not always in habits of doing the cruel and mean thing. So I want to ask you, how can you get into a habit of doing mitzvot, of leading to more and more goodness, more and more righteousness? Shabbat Shalom.